So in the last class, we started the discussion on matrices. We started discussing various types of matrices and operations on matrices. We'll continue the discussion today. Okay. So far we have seen different kinds of square matrices like triangular, non-triangular. Okay. Tell me.
Should we take notes?
Yeah, because this is a review. I'm not starting the unit, right? I'm just reviewing the concepts that you know already. Okay, so this I'm not starting the first unit. If you find anything new, or if you would like to note down something, you can note down. Okay, whatever you want to write down, you can note down. If you feel something that is important to note. Okay, because I'm not starting any new topic. I'm just reviewing or repeating whatever you know already. Okay. So, so if there is a need to write, I will definitely tell you. At that time, you please write down. Now, at present, it is optional only. Okay. Okay. So we have seen so far different kinds of square matrices like triangular, non-triangular. In triangular, we have seen lower triangular, upper triangular, diagonal. And a special case of diagonal matrix is scalar matrix. A special case of scalar matrix, we have seen it as identity matrix. After that, we have seen some operations on matrices like matrix addition, matrix scalar multiplication on matrix, and the difference of matrices. And we have seen some properties also, right? So we'll see some more operations and some more types of matrices in today's class. Okay. So my Microsoft Notes is not working today. It is in updating mode. We'll be using the PPT.
క్లాస్ కి 3 minutes స్టార్ట్ అయింది ఇప్పుడే.
All of you, please mute yourself. Don't unmute. Be in mute mode. Okay. See, make sure that you are in mute mode. Okay. Only you unmute when I ask you to do so. Okay. When I ask some question, if you are trying to answer, then unmute. Okay. Once you are unmute, make sure that there is no disturbance background to you. Okay. So please, that is very important for smooth running of the class. Okay. So today I will be using using PowerPoint. In the PowerPoint also I can use this ballpoint using digital pen. Okay. So so far we have seen these kind of operations. What operations we have? Are you able to? I think I have to share the screen, right? Yes. Okay. Are you able to see my screen now?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
So now I'm using today PowerPoint PPT to write the notes because there is some problem with my Microsoft Notes, OneNote. So operations and matrices we have seen. So for addition, okay, scalar multiplication, and next difference is fine, okay, because difference is a combination of addition, scalar multiplication, and after that we have seen multiplication. Only these three operations we have seen. Now, can you? We'll proceed some more to some more operations and matrices. Can you tell me the next operation? What could be the next operation? Matrices. You know some more operations, no? Transpose is there, right? So we'll see operations like this. Transpose. There are some more operations like conjugate.
Adjoint.
We'll go to that one by one. Okay, transpose, conjugate transpose. Somebody said adjoint, adjoint, determinant. These are all operations on square matrices, right? Okay. So adjoint to be applied on square matrix only, right? So operations on square matrices. One is adjoint, second one is determinant. Next, somebody said inverse. These three to be applied only on square matrices. Am I right? So first we shall see transpose, conjugate transpose, and conjugate transpose, and different properties of these three operations, followed by some types of matrices based on these transpose. Okay. Then we'll see, discuss adjoint, determinant, and inverse ones. Okay. Right. So so how do you define transpose of a matrix? Suppose A equal to, let us say, Aij of order m by n. Then what is A transpose? How do you define A transpose? What is other notation for A transpose? A dash. Right? So what is the definition of transpose? In terms A,
Rows
Ij, the element in the ith row, jth column will go into jth row and the ith column, right? So it should be A Ji of order what?
N cross M.
N by M. For example, you know, if I say A equal to 1, 2, 1, 0, minus 1, 2, what will be A dash? 1, 0, 2, minus 1, 1. Okay? So if I say this is a 2 by 3 order, then it will be of 3 by 2 order. Alright? So what are the properties on transpose? Can you tell me the properties on transpose?
A plus or minus B whole transpose is equals to
A dash
A
whole dash
transpose
equal
plus or minus
to A.
A.
Next one, A plus B whole dash equal to A dash plus B dash. Am I right? Next, what is Ka dash?
into A dash.
K into A dash.
K into A dash.
K into A. That's it, no? Any other property?
A into B whole transpose equals to B transpose into A transpose.
That is also important property. AB whole transpose equal to B transpose into A transpose.
Excuse me, sir.
Tell me. What's your doubt?
Nana, everyone try to share your webcams, Nana.
Somebody is asking me a question. Shall I proceed? Okay. So then, what is the next one? So next operation is conjugate. Okay? Conjugate. Okay, so conjugate of a matrix. So if I say A is a matrix of order m by n, so how do you define conjugate of a matrix? So this can be real or complex matrix. Okay, so I said the whole discussion in matrices is on real matrices or complex matrices. Okay, real matrix means every element must be real number, and complex matrix means our understanding is that there is at least one element in the form A plus IB, where I is a complex number. Okay, so how do you denote conjugate of a matrix A bar? So how do you define A bar conjugate of this matrix? A bar is replace every element of the matrix A with its complex conjugate. How do you denote complex conjugate? Aij bar. Is that okay? For example, if I have A equal to I, 1 plus I, minus 1 minus I, let us say 4. Then what is A bar? Replace every element of the matrix with its complex conjugate. What is A plus IB conjugate?
A plus minus IB.
You can say, you can write it as A minus I. Am I right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
so what is conjugate of I? Minus I. What is conjugate of 1 plus I?
1 minus
1 minus
I minus
conjugate of minus 1 minus I is minus 1.
minus
plus plus I.
Conjugate of 4 is
4.
4.
4. 4.
do you agree? So
Yes, sir.
conjugate of 4 is 4 itself. So conjugate of real numbers are themselves. Am I right? Conjugate of a real number is itself. Okay. So this is how we'll apply the conjugate. Now, can you tell me the properties on conjugate? First property could be A conjugate. Whole conjugate would be what? A. Okay. So now what is A plus B conjugate?
A conjugate plus B
A
conjugate.
conjugate plus B conjugate. What could be Ka conjugate? Where K can be complex constant also. Where K can be real or complex constant. In that case, I said K can be complex constant. So in that case, it could be K bar into A. K bar into A bar. Okay. So you just verify this result. Take some example like this and see. Okay. And what is the next result? AB conjugate. What will be AB conjugate? A conjugate into B conjugate. It is not reverse, it is order is same. AB bar equal to A bar into B bar. Is it okay? AB bar equal to A bar into B bar. That is about conjugate of a matrix. Okay. So next, what is the next operation? Next operation is called conjugate transpose, right? So what is conjugate transpose? So the name itself is suggesting, suppose you have a matrix of order m by n. It can be real matrix or complex matrix. Okay. Now, what could be the notation for conjugate transpose? A asterisk, or it can be written as A power theta. Both are same for same notation for conjugate transpose. So the name suggesting conjugate it and then transpose it. So how do you define this in terms of entries? First, I should take the conjugate. You see,
A bar I.
A bar Ji. Is that okay? Of order what? If the n by n.
N by M.
That's it. Okay. So something like if you have a equal to, okay, 1 I minus 3I, okay, 0 minus I 1 plus 2I, then what will be a power theta? So if you want a power theta, first you find out conjugate and then take transpose, right? So if first I will be taking a bar. What is a bar? What is one conjugate?
1
1. I conjugate is
minus
minus
I.
I.
Yes, I.
Minus 3I
Minus I.
conjugate
3I.
3I. 0
I.
conjugate 0. Minus
0.
I conjugate
0.
I.
I.
Plus I.
I.
1
I.
minus 2.
1
Okay.
minus 2I.
Minus 2I.
Now if I take transpose of the
Transpose.
conjugate, that is nothing but a power theta conjugate transpose. So what should I do? So 1
1
0
0.
minus I
3 I.
3I 1
1
minus
minus
2I.
2 I.
That's it. Is it okay? Now what are the properties of this conjugate transpose? First one would be a power theta whole power theta will be equal to a. Okay. Next, what will be a plus b power theta? It will be a power theta plus b power theta. You can verify this. Okay. What will be ka power theta? Can you guess?
K bar A
What?
power theta.
It will be k bar a power theta because it is a combination of conjugate as well as transpose. Conjugate property has this one, right? Ka bar equal to k bar into a bar. Therefore, ka power theta will be naturally k bar into a power theta. What will be fourth one? What will be ab power theta?
B power theta into A power theta.
E power theta into a power theta because again it is combination of transpose and conjugate. Transpose property AB transpose equal to B transpose into A transpose. Therefore, naturally AB power theta would be B power theta into A power theta. Is that okay? So these are the three operations: transpose, conjugate, and conjugate transpose. Okay. Now we'll see some special types of matrices based on these operations. Okay. So right. So now what I'm so far we have seen some types of square matrices, some operations. Now again we'll see some more types of matrices. Okay, so side heading would be some more types of square matrices. Why square matrix? You will see square six. Okay. Now based on transpose, can you tell me one type of matrix? Can you recall?
Symmetric matrix, asymmetric
Symmetric,
matrix.
symmetric, symmetric matrix, right? So when do you say matrix is symmetric? A transpose
When
A
A
equal to
transpose
transpose
equals
to
to
A.
A. A transpose
A
equals to
transpose equal to A. But we know equality of matrices. What equality of matrices says? Two matrices are equal only when the orders are same. This is of order m by n. A transpose is of order n by m. M by n equal to n by m only when m equal to n. Am I right? So when m equal to n, what kind of matrix it is? It is a square matrix.
square
Square
matrix.
matrix.
Okay. So symmetric matrix case will occur only for square matrix case only. For non-square matrix, no need to discuss anything about symmetry. So in terms of entries, how can you say? Or no, I don't want a matrix definition. In terms of entries, what is the way I should say? These two A transpose equal to A means what? Aij must be equal to A
J. Ji.
Ji. Okay, so in terms of entries, I should say Aji is equals to Aij.
I.
That should be true for all I and j. That should be true for all I and j. Even if one corresponding element is different, then that is not symmetry. So how do I construct a symmetric matrix? If somebody wants to ask me to construct a symmetric matrix, what I will do first? First, I will fill the principal diagonal elements, because II 1 1 2 2 3 3, right? So something like 2 0 minus 1. Then what should I do? Whatever the element I place in ij position, same element I am to place in ji position. Am I right? So if I write 1 plus I here, this is in first row, second column. Same element I have to place in the second row, first column.
Second row, first column. 1 plus I.
Is it okay? So minus I, first row, third column, third row, first column. Am I right? So 3, 3. Do you agree? So that is how we can construct a symmetric matrix. Am I right? So next one. Now somebody is telling asymmetric matrix. What is asymmetric matrix?
A transpose
A
A
transpose
transpose
minus
is equal to minus A.
A transpose equal to minus. Okay. So that is not needed for us. Next one is skew symmetric. Okay, you are telling asymmetric. I am calling it as skew symmetric.
symmetric matrix.
Okay, I don't know that it is also called as asymmetric. Okay, so skew symmetric, or you are telling asymmetric. So what should be the condition?
A
A
transpose is equal to minus A.
minus A, or in terms of entries, what should I say?
Aij is equal to
A transpose representative is AJ.
AGI
Minus
minus
AI
AIJ.
for all I comma j. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
So when I say this is true for all I comma j, it should be true for I equal to j also, no?
Yes.
So if A is symmetric, okay, if A is symmetric, then for I equal to j, we should have AII equal to minus AII. Do you agree? This is true for all I and j, therefore it should be true for I equal to j also. Substitute j equal to I here. So AII equal to minus AII. Accepted? So this implies that what, when I take this to left hand side, 2 times AII equal to 0.
symmetric or skew symmetric?
That means AII equal to what?
0.
0. So that means what is your understanding? If A, sorry, it should be skew symmetric, right? If A is skew symmetric, I agree. If A is skew symmetric. Okay, so what is your understanding? In a skew symmetric matrix, what kind of elements are zeros?
The principal diagonal elements
Principal
are
diagonal elements are
all principal diagonal elements are zeros. That should be the property of skew symmetry. So if you notice any principal diagonal element is non-zero, can it be skew symmetric?
no.
No.
No. So if you notice all diagonal elements are zeros, can you call it as skew symmetric?
Yes.
No.
No.
No, sir.
Yeah. Apart from principal diagonal elements to be zero, it has to satisfy this condition also, no?
Yes, sir.
What if I put like this? 0 0 0 is there. Okay? 2 is there. Instead of here you should see minus 2. But instead of minus 2, if I put 3, will it be skew symmetric?
No.
No. Okay? So having principal diagonal element 0 is only necessary condition but not sufficient condition. Please understand the difference between necessary and sufficient condition. Is that okay? So if you notice any entry is non-zero, no need to check any other element. Definitely you can say that it is not skew symmetric because there is a principal diagonal element which is non-zero.
Non-zero.
Is it okay? But if all the elements are zeros, okay, you cannot say further checks are needed. Further checks are needed. So if I place 2 here, I should place here
Two.
-2.
minus 2.
Two.
Aij equal minus Aij, no? So if I place 1 plus I, what should I place here?
1
1
minus
minus
I.
I should not put conjugate. I should put
-1
negative.
-1
-1
Minus
one.
1 minus I.
Minus 1 minus I. Is that okay? So if I put minus 1, what should I place here?
+1.
Plus 1.
1.
Okay, you have to place the negative of the number. So that is how we are going to construct this Q symmetric matrix. Do you agree? Okay, so this is a very important result. In a skew symmetric matrix, all the principal diagonal elements are zeros. In a skew symmetric matrix, all the principal diagonal elements are zeros. That is the result. Okay. So what is the next type of matrix? Symmetric is over. Skew symmetric is over. What kind of what could be the third matrix?
Hermitian matrix.
Hermitian matrix. What do you mean by Hermitian matrix? A power theta equal to A. Okay. What do you mean by what is the representative of A power theta? A bar Ji is equal to AJI for all I comma j. That should be the condition. Okay. So what could be the result we can derive if A is a Hermitian matrix? If A is a Hermitian matrix, then for I equal to j, what we can have? For I equal to j, A bar II. I am replacing j with I. A bar II must be equal to AII.
AII.
But when conjugate of a number will be itself?
Real numbers.
Doesn't contain any
Means
imaginary.
AII must be real. It must be a real number. So what is the property of a Hermitian matrix? All the principal diagonal elements in a Hermitian matrix are real. So if you see any principal diagonal element as complex in the form something A plus IB form, can it be a Hermitian matrix?
No.
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 So how should I construct a Hermitian matrix now? I should first fill all the principal diagonal elements with real numbers. Is that okay? 1, 0, something like 2. If you see 2 plus I, it cannot be Hermitian because all the principal diagonal elements must be real numbers.
Real.
Is it okay? So that is how you can eliminate. Suppose in exams, if you're asked to identify which one of the following are Hermitian, first look at the principal diagonal elements. Okay. Then later, what I have to do? Whatever the element I put in Ij position, in Ji position, what should I put?
Same.
Conjugate of the element, not same. You see, Ji bar equal to Aij, right? So if I put 1 plus I here, what element should I place here?
-1 minus I.
See, what is the conjugate?
1 minus I.
What
Okay,
is the
1
conjugate
minus
of
I.
one?
1
Don't
minus
put
I.
the conjugate. Don't confuse with this. Is it okay? Negative of a number is different from conjugate of a number, right? So if you here I should put the conjugate. That means 1 minus I. Is it okay? So if I am placing 2 here or 3, let us say minus 4. What is conjugate of minus 4?
-4.
Minus 4 only. Because conjugate of a real number is itself.
That is real number, yeah.
Okay. So if I put minus 1 minus 2i,
-1 plus 2I.
-1
Minus
plus 2i.
Okay, so that is how we are going to construct the Hermitian matrix. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So what is the next one?
Pure Hermitian.
Q Hermitian. Q Hermitian matrix. So what is the definition? A power theta equal to
Equals to
Minus
minus
A.
minus A, or what should I say?
A
A bar
A
Ji
J
Ji is
equal
equals
to
to
minus
minus
Aij
Ij.
J.
for all I comma j. Do you agree?
Yes.
So what is the result we can derive if A is a skew Hermitian? Then if you then okay for I equal to j, what can I say?
A bar I
A bar II equal to
minus
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 A
A. IA.
II. That means what? AII must be 0. Am I right? So when this will happen? When sum of a number and its complex conjugate is 0.
When real part is 0.
When real part is 0. Okay. So what do you mean by so what kind of number that is called? So A plus IB, if real part is 0, that is called a purely
Imaginary
imaginary
part.
number.
imaginary.
Is that okay? So you please tell me in A plus IB what is real part, what is imaginary part?
A is
A
real
is
part,
real
I
part
part.
I
is
A
real
is
part.
real part. What is
B
imaginary part?
is
IB.
IB.
IB or B?
B is the
B.
imaginary.
B is
B is the
imaginary.
imaginary part, not IB. Is that okay? So A is real part, B is imaginary part. If you are telling if A is 0, then IB is called purely imaginary number. If B is 0, then what is A called?
Real.
Purely real.
Purely real.
Purely real.
There is nothing like purely real. Real is real only. Is it okay? So there is nothing like purely real. If imaginary part is 0, then that remains real. That's it. Okay. So what should I say? AII is purely
Imaginary.
imaginary. Why? Because if I say 3i is purely imaginary, what is its conjugate 3i bar? See 3i bar conjugate is minus 3i. 3i minus 3i is 0 only, no? Therefore this is true. But this is the only case, or any other case is also there? It could be purely imaginary or
Real.
real. If I take real, what is 4 plus 4 bar?
8.
8, non-zero.
Okay.
So not necessarily real.
0.
Yes, 0. What is 0 plus 0 bar?
0.
0.
0 only, no? Therefore, it can be purely. So, 0 is not a purely imaginary number. Purely 0 is a real number. Is that okay? So, what could be the condition? It can be AI is purely imaginary or
0.
0.
0.
And
So, what is the condition? What is the property you are telling? In a skew
The,
Hermitian matrix, the diagonal
the
elements are 0 or purely imaginary.
Imaginary.
How do I construct a skew Hermitian matrix now? Tell me. So now I have the option of putting either purely imaginary number or 0. It is not necessarily all are purely imaginary. It is not necessarily all are zeros. It can be a combination of both, right? So I can put 2i or 3i. Here I can put
0.
minus 4i. Here I can put 0 also. Then the diagonal elements must be 0 or purely imaginary. Okay. Now what should I? So if I place 1 plus I here, what should I place here?
minus
Minus 1 minus I.
minus 1 minus I.
See, A bar what will be the expression for Aij? You see, Aij equal to
-1 plus I.
minus. You multiply both sides with minus. Aij equal minus A bar Ji. Right? So whatever the element is there in Ij position, in Ji position, what kind of element you have to put? Take the conjugate and then multiply with the minus.
Minus.
Is that clear? So
Yes, sir.
what is conjugate of 1 plus I?
1 minus
1 minus I.
1 minus I. Then you multiply with minus 1.
Minus
minus
1 plus I.
plus I.
Minus 1
Plus I.
minus 1 minus 1 plus I. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Now if I put I here, what is conjugate of I?
Minus I.
Minus I.
Multiply minus I with minus 1.
I.
Again you are putting I. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So minus I bar B minus of minus I, which is equal to I only.
I.
Is it okay? Now if I place 2 here, what should I place here?
Minus 2.
Minus 2. 2 conjugate is 2.
2
After
and
getting
second.
conjugate, simply multiply with minus. Multiply with minus. Is it okay? So that is how you will be constructing skew Hermitian matrix. So what are the 3 important results we have learned so far? In a skew symmetric matrix, all the diagonal elements are zeros. In a Hermitian matrix, all the principal
elements
are real. In a skew Hermitian matrix, the diagonal elements are 0 or purely imaginary.
Purely imaginary.
Okay, and don't use the word either. See, either A or B is different from A or B. Can you tell me why? Either A or B means what exactly? One of A and B.
Anyone.
A but not B, or B but not
But
A.
not A.
But if I say A or B,
We
it can be
use
A,
both of
it can be B, or it can be both also. You know the disjunction operation, right? When A or B, A join B is true, if any of the two is true. Is that clear? So we don't use the word either in general in mathematics. We'll be precise, okay? Okay, so don't never say either A or B. Mostly we'll be using A or B. Okay? So these are some types of square matrices. Okay, these are some types of square matrices. So before proceeding to the next concept, I would like to recollect these operations. You know, conjunction, disjunction, implication by implication. Do you remember? Truth tables.
Yes.
Do you remember truth tables? Okay, yeah, let me
Yes,
write
sir.
down truth tables once. PQ, P join Q, P meet Q, P implies Q, P if and only if Q. Is it okay? Quickly tell me these tables: TT, TF, FT, F. Yes. Now you tell me. When P join Q is true, if at least one of the two is true, right? True,
False.
true.
True.
False.
P and Q is true only when both are true.
False.
And remember, in mathematics, P comma Q is nothing but P and Q is nothing but P meet Q only. Is that okay? Comma refers to
Mid.
meet. Remember, and okay. So see, you will be writing like this, no? X minus 3 into x minus 2 equal to 0. So what will be x equal to?
3,
Generally 3 comma 2. Generally we will be writing 3 comma 2. But if a b equal to 0, then what you will be what you should write?
A equals to 0
A equal to 0
or B equals to 0.
or b equal to 0.
B is equal to 0.
Now do you see the difference between these two? Okay. here we are trying to explore all the possible values. That's why you are putting comma. But here you are not exploring all possible values. Okay, you are telling the possibilities. If the product to be 0, it is sufficient that at least one of these to be 0. 0 into anything, any finite quantity is 0. 0 into any finite quantity is 0. Is it clear? So be careful while writing the conclusions. Are you using or and? That should be written carefully. Okay. Okay. Now come to the next important one, implication. What do you mean by implication? How do you write down this? So you will call this as P R Q. You will be calling it as P and Q. You will be calling this as
If P then Q.
if P then you will be calling it as if P then Q. Tell me when this will be true.
True, false.
True,
True.
false,
False.
false, true,
Sir.
true,
True.
false.
True.
So P implies Q is false. P implies Q is false only. First one is true. Second one is false. In all other cases, it is going to be true only. That means if somebody promises you to do something, and if they fail to do that, then that's a false statement. Only in that case only it is false. In all other cases, it is going to be true. And this is a very important understanding, logical connection. Okay, in general perception, okay, most of the people will think in the other way. There are three statements associated to P implies Q. Can you tell me those three? There are three things. This is P implies Q is implication. No, there is one more thing called Q implies P. There is one more thing called negation P implies negation P, negation Q, and other one is called negation Q implies negation P. Is it okay? So can you tell me the names?
While
This is implication. I agree. What is the next one called?
inverse.
Next one, Q implies Q is called converse.
Converse.
What is the next one is called?
Inverse.
Inverse. What is the last one called?
Contrapositive.
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 Okay. So now tell me, among these four, which two statements are equivalent? That means they convey the same meaning. Do you think that converse and implication are same? Do you say that P implies Q is nothing but Q implies P?
No.
Telling the other way is also
No.
true? Hmm?
No, sir.
Okay. You got 90%. If you get 90%, you passed. Is the converse true? You passed. Does that mean that you got 90%? Not necessary. No. So converse not necessarily true. Similarly, inverse also not necessarily true. So which one is true? P implies Q is always equivalent to negation Q implies
Negation Q. Negation P.
This is the most important point in mathematics. So whenever you are given some implicative statement, you also understand that its contrapositive is also true, but not necessarily converse and inverse. The converse may be true, may not be true. Inverse may be true, may not be true. That you have to check. Sometimes converse may be true, sometimes converse may not be true. Never assume that converse is always true. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, but a layman don't know about all these things. Okay, he will think that implication, converse, inverse, contrapositive, all are same. Okay, because of that misunderstanding only, so much of quarrels are happening around the society. You see in news channels, one politician will give implicative statement. Okay, the other politician interpret it as converse, and the news anchor interpret it as inverse. And he will think that all the three statements are true, and he will put a debate and may quarrel. You understand? So don't fall into the trap. Okay. So always understand that only contrapositive is true, and just listen carefully whether the person is telling if implicative statement or by implicative statement. Why? Because in by implicative, both P and Q convey the same meaning. Whatever P says, Q says. Whatever Q is saying, P is saying. Whatever P not says, Q does not say. Q does not say, P does not say. Is it okay? So implicative is different from by implicative. So when this is true, can you tell me? P, if and only if Q is true, only when both are true or both are false.
Both are
In all
false.
other cases, it is going to be false.
False.
Is that okay? So these are the four statements which are not part of the syllabus, but very essential concepts of mathematics. Okay, all theorems will be either in implicative statement or in by implicative statement form. Some theorems will be only if then condition. Some theorems will contain if and only if condition. Okay, so how do we write this? P IFF means what? If and only if. IFF means P if and only if. Okay. So that's why in the previous statements, see, I have written if then. What kind of statement it is? It is implicative statement. Okay. So the converse need not be true. If the diagonal elements are 0, it is not necessary that it is a skew Hermitian matrix. If all the elements are 0 or purely imaginary, not necessary that it is a skew Hermitian. Okay. If all the elements are real, it is not necessary that it is a skew Hermitian, because the converse of the statement need not be true. Is it okay? Do you follow?
Yes, sir.
Great. Now I'll just discuss one more operation and start the class. Okay. Now so far we have seen some types of matrices, some operations on matrices. Again we have seen some more types of square matrices. Okay. Now what is the next operation you have seen? Adjoint. No. Okay. So before adjoint, so we have completed a transpose, conjugate and different types of matrices based on these operations. Now we are here adjoint. So before adjoint, can you tell me what do you mean by submatrix? What is a submatrix?
Small matrix.
Hmm?
With matrix.
How do you define a submatrix? Suppose I have a matrix, something like 1, 2, -3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 1, 2, 0. It is of order 3 by 4. Now, what is a submatrix?
A matrix obtained by deleting finite number of rows or columns or both.
Yeah, that's what I am telling you. No need to say are both. You said finite number of columns or rows. As I said, R includes both also. No, see the previous slide.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? R can include both also, not necessarily only one. Is it clear? So
Yes,
it is
sir.
sufficient. It is sufficient to say that a matrix obtained from a given matrix by deleting some rows or some columns. Some rows or some columns. The resultant matrix is said to be a submatrix of the given matrix. Okay. So what should I say? Which one I can remove? I can remove this. The remaining matrix is a submatrix. Okay. Or I can remove this. The resultant matrix is a submatrix, or I can remove both. The resultant matrix is a submatrix, or I don't remove anything. So can I call it as a matrix is submatrix to itself?
No.
Somebody said by deleting finite number of rows and finite number of columns. Finite number of rows or finite number of columns. I'm deleting finite zero number of rows and zero number of columns. Is zero not finite? Is zero not finite? Zero finite. You cannot say infinite. Therefore, that remains true. So I'm deleting zero rows and zero rows or zero columns. Therefore, I'm getting the same matrix. Therefore, you can view every matrix is a submatrix to itself. Something like every set is a subset of itself, right? Something like you can view a matrix is a submatrix to itself. There is nothing wrong. Okay. So now my point is, submatrix can be a square matrix or non-square matrix. Given matrix can be given. There should be some hand object. Are you able to see hand? Any hand kind of? Okay. My matrix can be square or non-square matrix, but whether it is square or non-square, it is always possible to obtain some square submatrices. If I select like this, that is a square submatrix. Do you agree? So 1, 2, 6, 7 is a square submatrix. But if I select like this, then that is not a square submatrix. So in a matrix, you can select square submatrices or non-square submatrices also. Okay. What is the purpose? Why we are talking about all these things? So let me write down. Okay, submatrix. Okay, you understand this. Now, what do you mean by adjoint?
Transpose of cofactors of submatrix.
Cofactors of matrix.
Yeah. So before, so we know what is transpose. Now you are using a new word called cofactor. First of all, we should know what is cofactor. Then you have to come to the adjoint, defining adjoint, right? Always you have to go from known to unknown. We should not bring any unknown terms in between. Am I right? So, how do you define cofactor?
By closing the row and column of that element by taking the submatrix.
Cofactor is defined through minor. Okay. And minor exists in what kind of matrices? Square matrices. Okay.
Square matrices.
Now I should select a square matrix only. Okay. So if I take something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1 minus 1, 3. What do you mean by minor of 4? What is minor of 4?
-1 whole power is j.
Minor of 4 is -1 whole power I plus j into what?
Into
3 plus
3, 6 plus 3.
Huh? Into
9.
I'm not asking the value. How do you find out the minor?
2 into 3 minus of minus
So
1.
somebody said -1 whole power I plus j. Should I write this, or any mistake is it? This is for cofactor, no?
Yes, sir.
So what is minor? Minor of 4 equal to
2 into 3.
Closing the row and column of that.
I should omit the corresponding
Deleting the
row.
ith row and jth column.
I'm deleting second row and first column. Then what should I do?
Multiply
Submatrix.
You are getting a submatrix. That submatrix is 2, 3
Submatrix.
minus 1, 3. So what should I do? I have to find the.
Determinant.
The
Determinant.
determinant of the submatrix.
But the point is, we don't know what is determinant. We haven't discussed about determinant yet. For a layman like me, you should explain me what is determinant first, because determinant is written later. You are trying to define adjoint. For defining adjoint, you need cofactor. For cofactor, you need minor. Again, for minor, you need a determinant. You agree? So in tomorrow's class, what we do? We'll see how to define determinant of a square matrix in a systematic manner. Is it okay? So in today's class we discussed about what is it? Transpose, conjugate transpose, and different types of matrices. Okay, and we discussed about this implication by implication. Okay, right. So my next class is again on Monday, right?
Yes, sir.
Monday 3rd. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So yeah. Stay back once. Let me take that.